Welcome back. Let's get the latest in U.S. markets now. Bloomberg's Jessica Summers is in New York. She joins us live. Jessica, we're seeing equity markets weaker. What's behind the decline?
We are seeing U.S. equities turn lower here. That's on signs that the trade war with China is really just going to persist. We're seeing technology shares tumbling, multinational companies also falling. The S&P 500 sank to session lows after the Financial Times actually reported that the U.S. turned down an offer for preparatory discussions. And investors are also watching for any sort of headlines out of Davos, Switzerland, where we have the World Economic Forum going on. We also had BlackRock come out and say earlier at Davos that the U.S. and China trade clash here is really just this mega risk that's facing the global economy right now, the top mega risk that is. So that should persist, and that's really something to keep an eye on.
eBay is the S&P 500's best performer today. Tell us what's causing the stock to rally.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up eBay today. That's a really interesting mover. It rose the most in almost a year. That's after Elliott Management sent a letter to eBay's board saying it should follow this 5-step plan that includes evaluating some of its companies. It also includes buying back shares. eBay received this plan today, and we'll see if they do follow it. Just for some background here, Elliott owns about more than 4% of eBay, and it values its shares between $55 and $63 a share, and it sees those shares doubling from Friday's close if it does follow this plan. And eBay actually responded to Elliott's letter and said that it will review its proposal.
And in the commodity space, we're seeing oil fall. What's behind the price drop as well as the decline in oil service stocks?
Yes, so we are seeing oil taking a bit of a beating as well today, moving in tandem lower along with equities. Oil falling by the most in almost a month at one point, and that's really over concerns about global demand. We had a couple data points come out earlier that investors were really paying attention to. One of the most important, I would say, is the IMF coming out and cutting its world growth forecast. So that's a bit negative for crude there. So really we see investors just running away from risk today. Oil and equities falling in tandem, and I do want to point out that oil services sector index down nearly 5% today. Quite a significant drop. Halliburton reported earnings, and some analysts say that these E&P budget cuts are really just a negative for the sector right now.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Jessica.